skipping the starting soon screen today. Hello. Yeah. Really. So while we're waiting for can you try like deleting your save? I mean, I'm okay with. Is this idea dead in the water before we even started? You can play off screen if you need to. I mean, it's Blaziken. Not that there's a lot of choices, but yeah. So hi. While we're waiting for Ryan, I guess I can explain what's going on. We finished the last randomizer way faster than we thought we would, mostly because I serve at the restaurant. So, I kind of accidentally upped the pace of the entire run. Oops. So we're... Oh, fuck. We didn't randomize this game. I'm just realizing what I set myself up for. I'm just realizing what I set myself up for. Bro. We're doing one last randomizer. For now. You know, it's just an ultimatum. This time we're not randomizing the game, as you can tell by my, like, oh fuck, I fucked up. But... this is a big but. We already started the game. I chose the girl because I can play as a girl in this game. Yeah. We get to choose. We got to choose our starter, and our entire team. How we decided our teams is we chose our 6 favorite Pokemon. Our other 5 favorite Pokemon are... I'm gonna put this up on the screen for a second just so we can see. Yeah. Our other 5 favorite Pokemon for each of us are on a wheel like so. And after every trial, for the first 5 trials, we're gonna spin this. Oh boy. I believe I had this issue before, but I don't remember how I fixed it. Where'd you go? Oh god, she got into her butt paste. Oh no! Molly specifically got us a butt spatula because apparently that shit is really fucking sticky and horrible. The butt paste. So Poz apparently has to re-download the emulator, so... Well, we don't exactly know yet, but it's fine. She said the start. She said the start, and it's fine. To be fair, she doesn't have to catch Pokemon this time, so... Ugly! I need my turquoise figures. I need my turquoise figures. Yeah. Thank you.
Right? You bet your ass I would have been bitching and moaning about yours. And I would like
Yeah, you
either
should
of
be able to
come
handle that.
along. Like, would I or would I have not yelled about
You definitely would have. You definitely would have complained about it.
Yeah. So, you should be happy I didn't know, Poz.
I mean, to be fair, as soon as I said Vic Titi, you complained. So yeah, that's how I know. You would complain because you did. Because you already did.
Well, that was my point, is like, I definitely would have complained then.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I know you did, would have, because you
Work,
just complained.
work.
That was my point, is that I know you would have complained because you complained earlier, because you just complained now.
Yeah. But work.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why the Citra community help thing wasn't opening. It's because they fucking took down their website after Nintendo sued them.
They sure did.
Coffee!
Hi, Coffee.
Stubby!
As you can see, Poz's POV is blank.
Because my computer is being a butthead!
Oh, Toffee. Poz and I made Figleaf so happy yesterday.
I literally cried.
Yeah.
I felt
gotta
so
say,
bad!
When I told Poz the idea, Josh, she was like, "What do you have in mind?" And I described almost exactly what she made,
Yeah.
with one small change that she made that I liked better. And it was because, and I quote, Poz said, I didn't remember what a bonnet was. Honestly, Toffee, if you played Sun or Moon, it's 90% the same game. We put it on a onesie.
Yeah, they put it on the onesie and I cried.
With the word fig seed.
Yeah, I cried.
I'm sorry for making you cry.
I
Oh,
call that
God,
achievement
shut up.
unlocked. Poz, that's achievement unlocked. You should be proud.
Yeah, it's not. It's a Pokemon game. That's about all the spoilers you need to know, Poz. Toffee, I mean. It is in fact a Pokemon game. It has a Pokemon game plot. You'll be fine.
So, I don't know. I'm just gonna name these Pokemon what I would normally name them. Is that alright?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're our favorites. So I'm gonna name it. So like, I'm gonna name this Eevee Darwin.
I am
I would name him Darwin.
I am required by law to name Mr. Fig. I was required by law to name Mr. Figleaf.
Or should I name it Frosty?
I could not name it anything else. I would get in trouble. I would get arrested immediately.
God, I've had a song from TikTok stuck in my head, Josh, and you're about to make me sing it again.
Is it the Joe Henry thing? Because I've had that stuck in my head all fucking day. Oh,
No,
off
but every
of
time
one
I hear it,
TikTok.
I sing with it. So
One time, one video this morning. It's been in my head
say
all
his
day.
name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
And I just looked at him alright, I gotta know what TikTok's obsession is with this one fucking random ass TNA wrestler.
Go look him
like,
up.
no.
Like, watch his matches and stuff. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
He had
apparently he just makes videos making fun of his opponents.
Yeah, he did one for Matt Cardona,
Yeah.
making fun of how he has a YouTube channel reviewing wrestling figures with Brian Myers.
Yeah.
And he's like, but he'll always be Edge's bitch. Like, it was literally basically saying he's Edge's bitch, and it was the funniest shit. But if you look back at his work in Defiant Wrestling, Josh, at one point he went heel, and he became known as the prestigious one, Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
amazing. No, so there's a clip from the show The Rookie.
Yeah.
Do you know what that show is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
It's a cop show.
Yeah.
And there was this one clip where this duo got sent to a call, like they were specifically requested.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I wonder why we got requested for this. This is weird. And then while they're walking, all of a sudden you hear singing in the background with guitar strumming, and it says, "Is that a baton in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" And they start singing a song called Cop Cuties. And the literal fucking chorus is, "Cop Cuties, cutin' on duty."
Oh wait, I have the image, the Yuri Lowenthal sighting image for this run. Hold on, give me a minute.
Why are you doing Yuri Lowenthal sighting?
No, I'm not actually doing Yuri Lowenthal sighting, but I'm doing the same thing, just with a different one. I don't actually have it on my computer.
What are we even talking about? Some crack whore fucked up already. He blew his shot like the cocks in his mouth. This discussion is senseless and petty. Now whenever I listen to that song in the car, I basically just sing Luke's part and that's it.
Alright, here it is. Here's the image that's going to show up every time Debbie is on screen. Or shows up during a cutscene. Here we are.
Get in the fucking bag. I don't see it. Where's
Don't ruin the surprise. Don't ruin the surprise, man.
Oh, is that what it is? I didn't know.
This image.
Oh, that's really funny. No, so I didn't know what you were talking about, Josh. I was saying what was coming to my mind when you said Nebby. Thanks for the follow, 10th grade valedictorian.
Every fucking time. I promise.
Yeah.
Why isn't it showing up on screen?
It just did.
My stream is yeah. Where is Nebby? Not in the bag.
Well, that's why I thought it was funny. You were like, don't ruin the surprise. I'm like, I don't even know what the surprise is.
The surprise is getting the fucking bag.
I just remember listening to this shitty YouTube rap battle with Lily, where at one point she said, I'll treat you like Nebby, now get in the fucking bag. And that's all I was thinking of. I didn't know what you were doing. Hey Toffee, have you ever seen the show Has Been Hotel?
I also realized
May I preach the gospel to you about Has Been Hotel?
I also realized the problem with my eggs.
What?
I didn't write down which egg was in which
Perfect. It's a surprise.
Well, the point was we were doing the Wheel of Names to do it, Buzz.
Yeah, but yeah, the problem is we were doing the Wheel of Names, but now I don't remember which was supposed to be in which.
I do? I know most of them.
Well,
And
that's fine.
So.
It's fine. I can open up my save in PK Hex and write down the box number.
Coffee, you have to watch the actual show. It's out now. It's amazing. I made both of these two watch it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I have also been obsessed with the music for months now. Porygon is in 3. I am playing Ultra Sun.
I'm playing Ultra Sun as well. Eevee is in 2 and is also shiny. Solosis is in box 1. Done. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay.
I finally got Ultramundo open again.
Yay!
Although it's like the save game data is corrupted. Please go to the home menu and refer to the. I'm like, I know the same data is corrupted. I deleted it.
Coffee, what are you naming? What Pokemon are you naming the next Pokemon I get? Because that's random. So, when the next one comes, I'm going to pull up my wheel on stream, and that is how we'll determine what Pokemon I get. What do you mean by that question, I guess?
Yeah, so what we did is we injected the eggs into our game. So after every trial, most importantly, trial, not grand trial.
Right. So when we get to Illima's trial, I'll be able to get my second Pokemon.
Illima.
I hate Illima.
My name is Captain Illima. I prefer the normal type Pokemon. me to introduce myself. I'm Captain Illiman. Poz, let me know when you're actually sharing your screen so I can get you back up on here. I'm happy you love that, Toffee. Let me know when you're sharing your screen so I can pull it up.
Okay, I just need to fix something real quick. It's saying that the save game data is corrupted, so I have to try to fix that. Because it won't let me even... Like, boop boop.
Toffee's
wait,
command
let
and
me delete, oh, yes, let me delete this. Let me delete it. Let me delete it, please. Yes, I know. Let me delete it.
Alright. Toffee's command in Ryan's chat is unbearable.
Oh, I also have,
Get it?
I also did this one that you'll probably like, Toffee, because of who it's for. I did that for Mary.
See, I'm funny. I'm funny.
If you ever want to just say "goddamn it, Figly" for that typing it, just do !GD Fig. Alternatively, you can also do GD Poz.
Where is Nebby? Not in the fucking bag. Get the bag, Nebby.
Oh, Coffee, I forgot I made this one. I'm looking at my thing. Here's a funny thing I did back when I think when we were playing, what game were we playing? Oh, A Wonderful Life. I forgot about that. You'll heal my Pokemon 0 damage that's been dealt. Oh wow. Boys.
Hey, you get your power bonus back.
My tackles.
Yeah, your whole 3 tackles it took to kill that one Pokemon.
Pokemon Jordan! I don't have a VOD because I'm an idiot and don't save them. My daughter,
I've been telling Ryan for a while.
Like, are you referring to what my daughter did? Because my daughter became a musician. Or are you specifically talking about the ending of the game that happens to everybody? AKA the reason Poz won't play that game.
Ryan already told
It
me.
is the reason I won't play that game.
Ryan already told me what happens is that you die.
It's pretty upfront that that's what happens to you. Oh, I don't remember who was at my funeral. But, like, so I made sure that I became friends with, Gustavo. Is that his name? The fucking wandering dude who lives in that tent? Because I wanted my daughter to become a musician.
That's why you should save your vods. Just saying.
That's why you should lick my balls. Just saying.
No, thank you.
Time and place.
Wasn't talking to you, Poz. When is the time and place, Josh?
I think I scarred. I'm sorry.
Poz is shutting your brain off now.
No, I only heard like 2 words of that and then it got static.
Yeah,
Ryan said lick my balls and I said time and place.
and I said, when's the time and place? Bigly, when's the time, buddy?
Never. So I can go sell these Pokeballs, right? I'll never need Pokeballs in this run.
So, for anyone who's wondering what's happening, this run we're doing, we specifically are using our top 6 favorite Pokemon.
That are available in this game, asterisk.
Yes, because 2 of mine are not available in this game. No, it's not that I don't want one, Toffee, it's I just don't want to take the time to set one up. I'm extremely lazy and just have not taken the time.
I've told him how to do it, and it's like super simple to do, and he's just like, no, alright.
Here's the problem. You told me how to do it, but probably like forever ago at this point, and I don't remember jack shit.
Well, first you have to save your VODs, and that's the first thing, and you'll never do that, so...
I don't know how to do that.
It's super easy.
Teach me.
Okay, I will. If you're serious about saving your VODs in the future, I will teach you how to save your VODs.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, so after you're done streaming, Ryan...
Then wait till we're done streaming!
Yeah.
Also, Ryan, I'm streaming my screen now. I'm now waiting to get my bag before I give myself... Okay, now let me get the rare candies so I have my bag.
Wait. I'm supposed to have my bag first before I...
Well, I'm thinking maybe that's the reason why my thing wasn't getting along with me.
And you first do that as I'm trying to align up the screen.
File open.
Stop jumping.
Main view. This other save items, rare candies, because it was trying to read a bunch of rare candies in a bag that wasn't there.
Okay, no, we're good. I have the dubious disc and the upgrade. Alright, and 999 rare candies. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but can you go back to your game so I can finish adjusting the fucking screen?
Oh yeah, I was adding the rare candies to my save file. I didn't have a bag before, so it wasn't reading it properly.
Right, I specifically need your game up so I can edit this. How many more points left until you get to ask me about my favorite fast food restaurants? Actually, I want you to know, Luke, I thought about this. I locked in my list today. You too proud of me? I actually thought about something in advance.
You know who's the GOAT for fast food, even though they're expensive as fuck?
Who?
Five Guys.
You know who is somewhere on my top 5?
Five Guys.
Uh-huh.
Like, Five Guys burgers are expensive, but they're so fucking good, so it's worth every penny.
Right. So let me just say this, and I'm gonna preface this now and when Luke actually redeems it. I chose my top choice. It might be controversial to some people. Most people are probably not going to agree with it, but it's mine. I have many reasons as to why I like it. Okay? That is my preface. That being said, I like a lot of places, but I'm specifically choosing these. And you also have to understand, what I view as fast food is different from what other people view as fast food, I think. Like, here's a question for you, Josh. Do you view Domino's as fast food?
Not really.
Because I don't either. I consider that a pizza place. I think that's totally different.
Yeah, no, it's different to me.
And honestly, when Luke had asked me about this the other night, I didn't even consider Five Guys fast food at first. But I have a reason for that. My reason is that I don't think it's actually quote-unquote fast. Because if you order while you're there, you have to go in, you have to sit down, you have to wait, right?
Yeah.
To me, fast food is in and out. At most, maybe 5 minutes.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. But then I'm like, well, technically, if I order my Five Guys ahead, it's fast food. So
Abby has learned don't sass the mirror. What did you do, Riz?
What happened?
So look, like when you
I
get it, Luke,
didn't do anything.
When you get it, Luke, I'll do my actual list for you.
Toffee, I'm gonna fucking die.
You're gonna fucking die. Poz is gonna. Oh, Poz, you cheater.
Did you see what Toffee wrote? Did you see what Toffee wrote in my chat Poz?
Coffee.
She said 5 guys are the only guys allowed inside me, and I'm like, God damn it, Toffee.
Hey, it's time to make you regret that.
I'm so proud of you, Toffee. I'm also debating quoting that.
God fucking damn it.
It's pinned now.
So, Poz, do you know why I called you a cheater?
Why?
Well, Fyrus, what happened?
Because of the slot you put your Victini in.
What do you mean?
You now get it.
Against the fucking Rowlet.
You now have you now have basically a free KO every rival fight for the rest of the game.
See, I didn't even mean to do that. I just put it in the middle so that it would be the first thing. Like, it would be smack dab. I wouldn't forget where it was.
I forget which one I chose to. Oh, mine has a Poplio. But like I have an Eevee, so it's not like it's easy.
I just replaced Rowlet because I also have a grass type to start.
Yes, you have the Poz POV, Toffee.
The Poz OV, if yeah.
I like to refer to Poznai as a duo as Poz96 Coon. Or Apple Poz96 Coon.
Our literal like 3-way DM is called Fake Poz96 Coon.
Yeah, our 3-way DM is just Fig Poz96 Coon.
Because it's funny. Fucking Piplup, a fucking Covet.
Oh, Luke, in what order is that? Is that your least favorite to favorite? That's also 6.
We also do not have In-N-Out where we are.
Yeah, I've never had In-N-Out. I would try it, but I'd like the thing that everyone loves about it being their animal style, I also would not eat.
I am so fucked. I am paralyzed, and Pichu used Covet on me like 4 fucking times.
Get fucking good.
I just have to crit. I just have to get really good and crit like twice. So.
Oh, pause. Yesterday, when we were all sitting there waiting for Josh's cousin to show up to the shower, someone was like, "Oh, she's lost," and Josh, or was it Tom that said it, or you said it? Someone was like, "Just say skill issue."
That was me. Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, "Just say skill issue," because she was lost.
Because you used to say that shit to me all the time. Skill issue.
I believe you. She was so happy to sit and talk with me when she got there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since, I think pre-pandemic?
Yeah, I think she came to the... I think she came to Etsy, like, at least once.
After everything?
No, but since COVID, because I think she came there to play Modern, and then nobody was there, and you guys played Legacy, and she played Legacy with her Modern Goblin.
Oh, you're right. That was the last time I saw her, I think.
Yeah, and it was pre-transition for her.
Yeah, that's what I was... When I said before everything, that's what I was referring to.
You can just say
pre-trans... I didn't know. I don't know the etiquette.
I know, like, it's okay to say before they transition. Like, don't be an asshole about it or anything. You can say that. It is a fact that it happened. It is a fact that it happened. Like, it's not like...
I was explaining
it's not a big deal
to my grandma today, and she was like, yeah. Did you know that happened? And I'm like, well, I knew. I'm friends with her on Facebook. Like, I knew it happened. You know? But, like, I have not seen her since a long time. I was a father of 1, and I wasn't married the last time I saw her. Okay. So I will say, Toffee, you're in luck. This is the one playthrough that I've done where I have not had a nickname theme. Because since it's all just our favorite Pokemon, I was just naming it after what I usually would name them. Hence why this is Darwin. And before Toffee actually gives her name to the next Pokemon, I will say what I would have named it, just for the sake of everybody understanding.
I'm still waiting for Riss to tell me what happened, because I still don't know.
I mean, Riss literally said, I didn't do it.
Yeah, but something happened. I would like to know what happened.
Oh.
Do not hold me in suspense forever, Riss.
No, Riss, just cuck him so hard and don't say anything.
Don't say that.
Oh, right! The ADHD happened, it's okay.
You're fine, you're fine.
Abby talked to a mirror and sassed it by saying mirror, mirror on the wall twice. And it sent their fire ward on.
Oh, Baldur's Gate!
No, Riss, you can also just make that happen for experience.
I thought you were talking about a real life mirror.
Wouldn't that be edging instead of cucking?
Oh my god, oh.
Toffee!
Toffee's the best. So Luke, I see you're up to number 3. Also, are you at the 100 points yet? I can't wait to be told by somebody I'm wrong.
Hello.
Also,
Bring me that new
Toffee,
trainer. Yeah, okay.
Culver's is like burgers and chicken, right?
I don't know. We don't
I know they have frozen custard. I know a little bit about it from like YouTube videos and stuff. I've never actually gotten Culver's. That being said, I would absolutely try Culver's. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it.
Oh, there was this chicken place that we tried. That was, the food was good, but we ended up having to wait an hour for our food. So we were so mad.
Can I give a hot take real quick about a chicken place that has got controversy on it for its religious views?
Oh, Chick-fil-A, what?
Fuck Chick-fil-A.
So no, I'm gonna say this. And my opinion on this has nothing to do with its religious views and all that shit. I stay removed from it as far as I can. Everybody who is very hyped about Chick-fil-A and tells me that their chicken is the best thing ever is a liar. Is a liar.
A, it's not. You can easily make it. So many people have said you just, like, marinate it in, like, pickle juice or something.
Yeah.
So here's the thing,
And
right?
B, it's not worth it with the amount of harm they do to the LGBT community. So
Again,
fuck Chick-fil-A.
my statement pause has nothing to do with that. Let me just say this. Because I've eaten at Chick-fil-A a couple times, right? Their chicken is mediocre. It's worse than KFC. And, like, I'm not saying that in a way like I'm saying KFC is amazing. KFC is stone cold fine. But their best things they have there are, like, a milkshake, lemonade, and their waffle fries. And I can also drive just as far to go to a Chick-fil-A as I could go to a fucking Cracker Barrel, and I'd rather go sit down at a Cracker Barrel.
I miss Cracker Barrel. I wish we had those in Canada.
Where do you think that Laura and I went yesterday after the baby shower?
Jealous.
Well, because here's the thing, Puz. When I go to Cracker Barrel, I get their home-style fried chicken. Every time. I don't get anything else.
I get their pancakes.
I want to eat their breakfast. I have not, though. I
Their
legitimately
pancakes are
only
delicious.
I only go
Buttery.
for fucking chicken and mac and cheese.
Their pancakes
And,
are buttery and delicious.
We said we were going to do that at some point, but I guess we have to wait a while.
What, go to Cracker Barrel together?
Yeah.
We can even do it as like a double date. You bring Molly and I'll bring Laura, and we can all just go and hang out. Laura and I, like Laura likes it. She just doesn't go often. And she was actually resistant because she didn't want to go to there or Chili's for the 2 gift cards I had in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey babe, like look at their Cracker Barrel menu. Tell me if there's anything you like." She looked at it and she goes, "Ooh, cherry lemonade." Oh, and then she found like this like shrimp tenders and tips platter, which is like steak tips, chicken tenders, and shrimp. And she was so happy.
If we ever meet up in the States, and I'm saying if because I don't know when it would happen, but I know it'll eventually happen one day, can we go to Cracker Barrel?
100%.
Hey!
Pause. I will drive you myself.
Yay!
Cracker Barrel is over an hour for me. It's closer to Josh.
Abby
I will
wants me to
fucking drive
put my
myself.
balls in the Necrodome. Oh my god.
Please do, Riss. Tell me how it feels. So, Toffee. Golden Corral is a place that I only go when I'm on vacation in Florida, and I fucking love it.
What's
It is one of
Golden
those
Corral?
places. It is a buffet.
Oh,
It's an American-style buffet.
American style buffet. Isn't that just a buffet?
Well, I say American style because it's like you can get steak, you can get pizza, you can get like chicken, you
I'll
can
be
get
completely
salads.
honest, I misheard steak and heard spade. And I'm like, hey, yo, what? You can get what at the buffet?
So like you can just get all this fucking like chicken and steak and shit, and it's awesome. And then at the end, they have a dessert bar with a soft serve ice cream machine that you use yourself.
You can get your hormone medicine at Golden Corral.
Like, pause. When we went there for like one of the first times, I ate like 3 plates.
Fucking good.
I ate like 3 plates of food, and then I went up and ate like 8 bowls of soft serve ice cream.
Fuck.
Like I just sat there fucking making soft serve ice cream.
I don't know what's with the conversation today, but I'm gonna blame Toffee.
Hey,
don't wanna
Ryan,
talk
remember
about
when you said I play the game slow? I'm already past you.
Wow, it's like you have a fucking legendary as your starter. So shut up. I'm using a fucking Eevee.
I'm gonna die.
Actually, out of the 3 of us, I have the weakest starter.
You realize you could have just hacked in an ice stone into your backpack
That's-
and immediately had a glaze
I have
over,
one.
right?
I literally have one.
That's probably objectively true until I have Razor Leaf. That's probably not objectively true until I have Razor Leaf, but yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I can use the ice stone. I have it in my bag.
Yeah.
So why don't you?
Is there a reason not to?
I mean, the earlier you use it, the more moves you'll get.
It's not
Really,
like
like,
old games.
It'll actually have level up moveset.
It learns Icy Wind immediately. Alright. Twist my balls.
Yeah,
I mean, what?
there's literally no reason for you not to evolve it.
Big Leaf did say he liked Wendy's. Wendy's is fire, though.
Wendy's is awesome.
Literally, Toffee, I just go get pizza and steak, and then just like... Oh, Toffee, you know what the best buffet I've been to is? And Big Leaf's gonna love my answer.
We used to go to this place. I don't remember where it was called the Hometown Buffet, and it was amazing. But of course, it was all white trash food.
You know what my favorite buffet I've been to is, Josh?
What?
Fire and Ice.
Yeah, Fire and Ice is sick.
Fire and Ice is bomb. Wait, pause. If you come up here, we're going to Fire and Ice.
You know what I miss doing whenever I would go to the States? We would drive around and go to all the different Walmarts.
Why?
Well, because each one had different stuff in it.
Oh, this pause. You come here, I'll bring you to 3 different Walmarts, and then we'll go to Fire and Ice.
Yay!
Look, I can probably make it to more Walmarts by then.
But
Two
yeah,
of them are
each Walmart
super.
had but more stuff than a Canadian Walmart. B, each Walmart had different stuff in it. And C, each day that Walmart had different stuff in each one that we had already previously visited. So we just kept going to Walmart. I
Pause.
miss American Walmart, man.
Pause, do you have any food allergies?
Yes.
What's your food allergy?
Well, here's the thing. I'm so allergic to ragweed that it is spread to any fruit and vegetable that even shares a botanical category with it. So I can no longer have melons or pineapple.
No, so when you go to Fire and Ice, right? The first thing you get asked is if you have food allergy, and if so, they give you a little card. And they will cook your food separate from everybody else's because of your food allergy.
Oh, that's nice.
Because the rest of the food gets cooked on a giant center grill.
Yeah, it's like a hibachi, gigantic hibachi grill, kind of.
Oh, that's sick.
It is. So, like, I go, and I make the most, like, weird pasta concoction every time I go. Which is, I literally make shaved steak Alfredo. And here's the thing, Poz, it's awesome. And then I make a burger with shaved steak on it. It's also awesome.
This Grimer is gonna fucking kill me.
Coffee, my Walmart either has a Dunkin' in it or a Subway in it, depending on which Walmart I go to. There's like 3 I can go to.
That's another thing I'd want to do when I go to America. I want to try Dunkin'.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm gonna guarantee you, Poz, like, Dunkin's is probably no better than Timmy's.
Yeah, but it's just for the experience.
Oh.
Yeah, you should only care about the experience as if you're coming to New England. Otherwise, don't fucking bother. Dunkin' Donuts is not. Dunkin' Donuts. Trust me, Dunkin' Donuts is not that good.
Like, for example, the other day I ordered takoyaki, and I knew I wouldn't like it, but I wanted to order it just so I could say, yeah, I got to try takoyaki.
So...
Fried
like
octopus
seafood.
balls.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to hear something
Very
awful?
good. What?
I'm gonna have an Eevee until Victory Road.
Didn't you turn off Impossible Evolutions?
It's not impossible. You
But we
evolve
made-
Eevee around a rock in Victory Road.
Yeah, but we did make evolutions easier, so it should have turned into a stone evolution.
It did not.
Well, it should have.
Well, I'm trying to use the stone right now. It's not working. I am in for a long haul.
Maybe go into PK Hex and change the Eevee for a Glaceon.
Yeah, literally just do that, Ryan.
Works for me. Saving. Hold on. I'm naming a Darwin again, though. Okay, Luke, you ready for this? I actually put thought into this. My bottom 2 are very interchangeable, and I'm not, like, defending it in either way. Number 5 is going to be KFC. I enjoy KFC. It's fine, but, like...
Also, Fig Leaf, I like how earlier I was talking about how Chick-fil-A food isn't that good. I've never even had their food. I just know people on the internet have been like, it's not that good, you can recreate it easily, and they're awful,
Yeah.
don't do it. But I've never had them, which I'm very grateful for.
I mean, Dunkin's coffee is perfectly drinkable. Just like, at this point in my life, I'm like, I would just rather just buy, like, whole bean coffee from the grocery store.
God, I haven't had
Oh, so you mean
KFC in years.
So you mean everyday toffee?
Toffee is a bear.
A mocha bear, if you will.
Oh, I'm so
That-
sad. Tim
that's a-
Hortons recently, they had these blueberry fritters, and I loved them so much, and then they got rid of them. But they kept the Dutchies, and the Dutchies I can already tell are gross, and I don't think they're changing them out every day, because each day I just see them getting drier and drier at my campus, and I'm like, that's not sanitary.
That's a cannibalism joke and a bear joke.
You're unbearable. So number 4 after KFC is Dairy Queen.
Ooh, Dairy Queen good.
Because Dairy Queen's good. I like their ice cream more than their food. But
Their food is actually decent, though.
oh yeah, no, I'm not even complaining about their food. It's just like I go to there now and I literally
Yeah.
just get chicken tenders because I order all my burgers plain and I find it a pain in the ass to order it plain there for some reason. So I just don't.
I gotta step away from him and I'll be right back.
Yeah. only fit for 2D. More like you can't get anything 3D, so therefore... He has to sit there and tickle his fucking pickle 2D. Poz, I like how you're spending your money on your hair.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I'm screwed. I could do one of those too, Luke, because there's a lot of regional ones that I would love to try. Including Culver's that Toffee talked about, because again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about it.
Yeah, I'll send her.
Also, yes, every time I get the option to do care for my Pokemon after a battle, I will be taking it. Because it's basically like a cheat code. Right, Poz? You know that's true.
Yeah.
Like, doing the care thing so they like you more and therefore have better chances to do shit, that's just, like, free. Ooh, Quick Claw. Yeah, get away. So, Pause, I've thought more about yours and Josh's answer about me voicing Husk.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come around on it more than I thought I would, but because of a very specific reason. You know what that reason is?
What is it?
There's a fan song made called We're Sure to Drown. And I think I can nail that Husk voice the most, which I think is similar to the pilot Husk voice. A gambling man with everything I own. But every time I see Husk now, I just think of Keith David. You know how people are like, oh man, Morgan Freeman and his voice? Fuck that. Keith David. Keith David's got the best voice. Toffee, do you know the dulcet tones of Keith David? From such things as Rick and Morty and Princess and the Frog.
He was also in Amphibia.
And Hazbin Hotel. He was not in the pilot, by the way. If you've seen the pilot, he was not in it. But he was in the actual show. Toffee, have you seen Princess and the Frog? I asked that one because I feel like that's the most likely one for her to know.
Yeah.
He voiced Dr. Facilier in Princess and the Frog. Look up Keith David's voice. Like, just look up characters voiced by Keith David on YouTube. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed, Tommy. He's got this amazingly deep voice. But my favorite character he voices is Husk from Hazbin Hotel, because Husk is my favorite character. Don't forget, I'm not the only one on a leash. I don't know, Poz. It's just like you could use a bartender to talk to. Oh, by the way, Poz, I'm fucked with a capital F right now. The teacher that you have to battle to finish the trainer school
Pasco's starter that's strong against you.
has Blitten,
Uh-huh.
which because I evolved, I'm not gonna lie, I might have to bend the rules a little bit. You wanna know how? I might need to go pick up Ghastly early. Mostly because I genuinely don't think I can beat that thing right now. Unless I power level to a fucking 20. Well, so when I say pick up Ghastly early, Toffee, I mean I'm literally gonna pick it up, level it up to 10, and then put it back in the box after that battle. I'm not gonna keep it until after I finish the first trial. Is that agreeable, Poz?
Yeah, if it's just for the one battle.
It would be just for the battle, because I genuinely don't think I can beat it unless I power level my Glaceon over, like over, you know? Also, can I point out the fact that it wouldn't even help me in the fucking first trial anyway?
Yeah.
Because you were the first one to point that out to me, Poz.
Because it'd have Pursuit and you wouldn't be able to hit it.
No, the first trial.
Yeah.
Philoma's trial.
Again, it'd have Pursuit and you wouldn't be able to hit it.
Wait, Gumshoes has Pursuit?
Uh-huh.
Shit, I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about Hollow when you said that.
Hollow also has it.
I think you're Ghastly. I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever we did to this egg,
Okay.
by the way, did not work.
What did you guys do?
So I'll tell you, Josh, I have to temporarily pick up the first egg I'm supposed to get.
Did you figure out your Glaceon okay?
Oh, you know, I switched that with PK Hex, but the Glaceon's the problem.
Why
You know
would you
that
do?
school- the teacher you have to battle in the school?
Yeah.
She has a Litten. That
I
outspeeds
bet
my
you-
that
Glaceon with
Alima's
Ember.
gonna have Alima's gonna have a Pokemon that's gonna have Ember.
Also, so basically, go fuck yourself is what you're telling me.
So I told Poz what I'm doing is I'm literally picking up the first egg, which I already rolled, so Toffee could name it in case she had to go. And I'm going to literally hatch it, make it level 10, use it for this battle, and box it.
Also, Kaseki gave me a chocolate bear that dissolves in hot chocolate in hot milk, so I'm having that right now.
Also, just to let you know, this Victini isn't as broken as you think, because I literally almost died to that teacher, because the teacher had a Poplio.
By the way, whatever we did to those eggs did not work.
What are you talking about?
We were supposed to set it to like hatch right when we walked away from it. And it did not. It's taken a long time to hatch.
No. I thought that's what that was supposed to do.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it's a chocolate bear toffee. I have marshmallows in it, so then when it broke open, it released all the marshmallows.
I will have to run downstairs in a moment.
It was a white it was a white chocolate hot cocoa bear from Trader Joe's apparently. But our friend Kaseki gave me it. And they like hot cocoa.
Don't shake the egg!
Oh wait, yeah, doesn't she have the start of your week against?
Boom.
Yep.
The teacher.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm getting shit on, because I apparently put this thing in the place of Rowlet.
I'm probably about to get fucked.
I
Only
would be
enough,
great.
she then had a Poplio, which is strong against Victini, and that's another reason why I was like, yeah, maybe I'll put it in Victini, because then I'll have the trouble against the teacher and Alima, not even thinking about how.
I'll be right there. I'm just gonna go check on Char because I know there was a new one.
Whenever I think of house fight, I always think of having trouble with his Raichu. I never think of his starter.
I will say also, I picked the right egg.
Because I have wiped to his Raichu before.
I think that's just enough damage that I can develop be fine. 'Cause I can potion after every other ember and I'm fine as long as I don't get burnt.
I thought for a second you were gonna get burnt. It was like Apollo,
I mean, if I get
prophecy.
I mean, if I get burned, I just like
Okay,
it takes longer. My only wish is that yep, there I got burnt now.
No!
My only wish is that I had it in a bigger mug because I put way too much milk in it, and the bear overflowed, and I had to clean up hot milk on my countertop.
But yeah,
Oh,
do you
Jesus
know how
Christ.
hard it was to keep a secret from you, that little piece of art that I did? Because that was like a few months ago that I
know,
did that.
right? Wait, why is it doing all of my health and damage now? Oh, wait. Yeah. I forgot. Okay, I can't win.
No!
Hey, you know what I forgot about, Poz?
What?
What is Litton's ability?
Intimidate? Or, oh, Blaze!
Yep. So, once Blaze triggers, she's doing 75% of my health.
You have a... Wait, are you faster or slower than it?
I am a
Probably
fucking
slower.
turtwig.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Lytton is also slow as fuck.
Huh.
So it's just a matter of, are you faster or slower?
Well, I'm gonna grind to level 12 and see if it improves the
Because
situation.
then, since you were on 1 HP,
I was also burnt.
Yeah, but then your ability would have activated.
Yeah, I have Absorb. Is my
Yeah.
only grass move. I don't even have Razor Leaf yet, so...
Yeah, so then the burn thing wouldn't affect that, because then the burn only affects physical moves.
Yeah, but still I would have done Piss Off for damage, still.
But your ability would have activated and boosted the power of your grass type moves.
Yeah, it still wouldn't have done a lot, though. It's fine. I'm just gonna grind level 12 and then try again. I will keep that in mind, though. I still think it would have done less than Tackle.
See, I always forget about those abilities because I don't think they've ever come in handy for me.
I don't think they've ever... They barely ever make a difference. Half the time with Turtwig, once I get Earthquake, I'm just using Earthquake. Like, forever. I did, full disclosure, give my Porygon Tri-Attack to start with, because it learns Tri-Attack level fucking 50.
Jesus Christ, yeah, I understand why you would do that.
Alright. We're at level 12. Oh, wait! I also have an idea.
Also, I like how Ryan's like, you're cheating, and I'm like, I'm still struggling, Ryan! Like, I wasn't against Hal, but against Alima in the teacher, yeah, I almost died, both times.
I also have Workup as a TM, so maybe if I give myself a attack boost on the first turn, maybe that will also be enough. Since it's so early, like, single points matter a lot. God, this will be so much easier once I have 2 Pokemon. Alright, work up. Maybe I'll just work up twice. And then... Yeah, and then I'll heal, and then I'll tackle. Because I want to kill it... I want to kill the Litten so it doesn't get Blaze. Fuck. And then it burned me on the 3rd ember.
You're like, fuck!
The fuck did I miss where Toffee saying she's happy for free brain juice?
Cannibalism.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not happening.
What?
I have to fight Litten. It's not going well.
Also, if you guys go in and set your counter on your eggs to 1.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, the 255 is starting at the end, and 1 puts it at the...
Oh!
1 puts it in
Okay.
the last one, so it's gonna take the least amount of stuff to hatch.
Okay. Yeah, that would do it. Thank you. They really should explain that better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, now I know what Pokemon was in each box. Ironically, it's the exact opposite order of what I put them in.
Luke, my top 5 favorite drinks are, like, so easy, if you know me, because, like, I'm such a picky person.
Yeah.
There's not a lot I drink. Leo, come on up, buddy. I need you to lick the fuck out of that Litten. And I might give you some extra levels when we get to the point where you're actually on the team.
Yeah, I think if I get burned, I just have to reset, because I don't think I can... Yeah, I don't think I can win if I get burnt.
Are you also fighting the teacher?
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna try to use Absorb after I get burnt, and we'll see what happens.
So number 5, Luke, for me, is the only hot drink that I drink, which is hot cocoa.
Oh my fucking god. First burn. For first ember that time, Poz.
Oh, come on.
There's only like a 10% chance or something like that.
Okay, I can do this. I still lost, by the way, to the Litten with the Ghastly. I think I know how to do it, Toffee. I think I know. Because I think if Darwin was at full HP, it would have survived the first hit. And therefore would have been fine. Also, if any of these licks actually paralyzed, we would have been fine.
Imagine relying on RNG.
You know?
Oh my god, right before I'm about to hit my first tackle, I get burnt.
Well, Poz, now I'm really relying on RNG because I'm using Confusion.
I don't know if you know, Poz, but your screen is frozen.
Oh, no. That's because I don't have her thing up. My bad. I fixed it.
I thought it was me.
No, if I minimize your screen at all, that happens. So, my B. Using Icy Wind to drop speed. I just want you guys to understand that without the Ghastly, I could not have won this battle. And I still barely won this battle. Poz is right, by the way. I'm getting shafted. And I don't care what anyone says, I'm getting shafted on this. Do you think I am, Josh?
On what?
I mean, Wigglyth is as well.
Huh? Yeah, with the Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about Shafted right now.
My second Pokemon's Ghastly.
Yeah, I only still have one, so shut the fuck up.
I mean, I'm putting this one back until I beat the thing, but if you feel like you need it, you can take your first one from your box.
Well, it's not gonna help.
How do you know? Did you roll what it is?
No, I didn't roll.
See, I completely randomized
I can
my
beat
eggs,
this.
and I won't know what they are, so...
I can beat this one if I can heal to full and then hit it with another tackle. I think I got it. Because I'm on my third workup. I think I answered that. If this kills, I'm good.
Luke, 4 for me is Sprite.
Fuck.
3 is definitely milkshakes.
Well,
No,
I need
sorry.
I need 4 workups to 2-hit KO.
3 is orange / grape soda. 2 is milkshakes, and number 1 is root beer. The best soda on the planet.
I can't believe I need 4 workups to 2-hit KO this fucking Litten.
Jesus.
Alright, now I don't know what's in any of my eggs, so I will just pick one. When it is time for me to get an egg.
If this workup was growth, this would be easy.
I mean, I only won mine because I speed scummed it. I, licked it a couple times, then confusioned it, and then used Icy Wind to lower its speed.
I'm not even gonna attack until I have 4 workups now.
Bark's root beer is my favorite root beer, but I'll drink any, honestly. Except A&W. A&W is garbage. Like, the worst root beer. And, people objectively think it's the best, and I think they're actually high. You ever heard of the Angry Scotsman?
No.
So the Angry Scotsman's a YouTube bit this guy did where he wears this hat with he has this hat with a orange hair sticking out of it.
Yeah.
And he crosses one of his eyes and not the other, and he throws on a very thick stereotypical Scottish accent. He's from Scotland. But it's a character he made, and when he does it, he starts it goes right, and it starts just rattling off angry Scottish shit. But one of the recurring bits that he has is he loves Iron Brew.
Yeah.
And so at one point they walk into a convenience store and they had no Iron Brew, and he looks at the camera and he goes, "Get out of Iron Brew." And then he walks up to the store and goes, "Ye bastards! You're out of Iron Brew!"
Okay, I beat it. I'd used 10 potions, but I did it. Ilima.
See, my problem was I felt if I used potions, it wouldn't matter because he was dealing too much damage to me.
It was dealing 13 points in Ember. So I was able to live 2 workups. I was able to live 2 Embers. So I worked up twice, ate those Embers, healed until I could live 2 Embers, did a workup, healed again, healed until I could live 2 Embers, worked up again, tackled, healed until I could live 2 Embers, tackled.
Poz, are you already done the first round?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you were definitely right on one thing, Ryan.
What?
This one's harder because we didn't write it.
Well, that's what I was trying to say when we did the monotypes too. Was like, if we randomize wild Pokemon, that's fine. But like having to like stick with what the game has for us makes it harder. Like, the joke I always had with Sableye was, like, Sableye is honestly, like, the best starter I could ask for in one of those. Especially if Normal's the first type, because, like, the Gumshoos has Pursuit, but, like, guess what? Pursuit's not super effective on Sableye. Sableye doesn't care.
Yeah, and then Retaliate and all of its super strong moves miss.
Right. But the one I actually wanted was I wanted Gligar.
What's the Totem Pokemon's level?
12, I think?
Okay.
12 or 11.
I think I'm fine with going straight for the trial.
I'm going to go straight for the trial once I get through everything else. I'm making my way downtown.
I hope I get Porygon first. Oh, thank God!
I think
Oh,
I
wait,
got
no.
my objectively worst Pokemon first. Not Eevee. I'm saying like it's my first egg that I'm gonna have.
Oh, we don't have the fucking camera bullshit in this one, don't we?
Oh no, we do. We do.
Uh...
I just did it. Yes, we do. Yeah,
I hate tutorials. That's the part I hate about this game. I hate tutorials. It makes me want to die.
So you know what I love about this too? Getting the totem stickers means absolutely nothing for us.
Yeah, we literally don't need to get the totem stickers.
I got one. That will be all.
See, I'm getting them if I happen to find them, but I'm not going out of my way for them anymore.
So for anyone wondering what Pokemon on my team would have changed between this game and, say, like Sword and Shield, Mandibuzz would not be on my top 6, and Glaceon probably wouldn't be either.
Yeah, if this were in a later gen, I would have had Hizui and Goodra instead of regular Goodra, and I would have had a Tinkaton.
And I would have had Toxtricity and Alcremie.
I think I probably would have had to take a ton.
It's just a little bastard, man. And I love it.
I just say it's you.
Yeah.
It's the Poland 3 energy we all hope that we have in our lives.
Can I tell you the funniest part about the surprise yesterday with Poz being on FaceTime the whole time? Besides her mic not working? Throughout it, I would just look down at my phone, right?
And Poz would be messaging, you'd be like, shut up, you're gonna blow my cover.
No, Poz would be like messaging me, but like beyond that, at points I would just look down and Poz was just staring into the camera.
Well, what else am I supposed to do?
I didn't know if you had stuff you were doing while like you were
She was enjoying.
I didn't know at what time. I didn't know at what time the present would be open, so I wanted to be ready.
I figured I would open the one that said two fig leaf from Ryan and Poz. That would open that one last.
Oh shit, I gotta go back to the Pokemon Center. I forgot to put the gas like that.
It was just so funny when Sarah was like, I kind of wish Poz were here for this, and I was like, hey, funny you mentioned that. I've been here the whole time.
I was thinking I had to like give this giant introduction to the gift to Josh.
Yeah. And then Sarah gave you that perfect opening. You're like, funny you say that.
Literally, it was like, I'm over here like, fuck, do I have to just like give this giant intro to Poz being on my phone? Or can I just like segue this somehow? Sarah says, I go, there we go.
You're like, about that.
You're going, yeah.
Oh, did Laura know? Oh, yeah, Laura knew.
Well, because she knew I had the gift. Like, I had that here.
Yeah.
But that was also why I was trying to emphasize the bag was from Laura and I. The present was not. And I think you were in here one day when I mentioned the Piplup Squishmallow existing.
Yeah. I forgot about it, I'm being honest.
Well, I mentioned it existed to just put the seed in your head, because the minute I saw it, I knew I was getting it for the baby.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I played the long game on a lot of this, Josh. I hope you understand.
Tavi doesn't have a command in my chat yet.
Only in mine.
We can, however, do this.
You know who else has one in my chat?
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Hey Josh, I think I upset Poz.
These Lears also fucking suck so hard because I can't switch out.
I have to go fight Ilima now. I forgot to box the...
I use work up instead of a tackle, so I'm dying. God damn it.
I forgot to box the Ghastly again right away. So I did the Team Skull fight with the Ghastly by accident.
Yeah, and I use those potions, right? Yeah.
Behold, the magnificent Pokemon of the one and only Captain Ilima.
Alright, well, we'll see how this goes at level 13. Now that I broke down and used a rare candy.
What the fuck? No, just come look at our child movie. I think she's laying on her ass and her or laying on her stomach and her ass is in the air. But I just look over and all I can see is this white triangle on camera. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, her parents also gave us a baby monitor, and I figured out how that worked out.
Is it a video one or an audio one?
It's a video one.
The video ones are honestly great.
I attached it to the wall so that we could get a good view of the crib. There we go. Wow, what a difference having Razor Leaf makes. Weird.
See, I still think you're gonna have a boy, Josh, but I want you to have a girl. Does that make sense?
I honestly think I would have a lot of fun being a girl dad.
You think you would?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have the most fun.
But I think I'm gonna be happy no matter what my kid is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's funny that we're like completely certain of what the name's gonna be if it's a girl, and like we keep coming up with new names if it's a boy. We've changed the boy name like 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
So Laura and I locked in a boy name because I basically told her straight away, I'm like, I have a name for a son picked out. And she liked it and went with it.
Please don't tell me it's a junior. I said, please don't say it's a junior. Thanks for coming, Toffee. We appreciate your presence.
Good night, Toffee.
Did he mute himself? I think he did. Laura's probably going on.
Oh, did you see that, game that I posted in Abicord earlier?
I mean, I looked at it, and I also put the other one on my Steam library. The one that you messaged me.
Yeah. Because I can't believe I finally got an ad that was relevant.
Take care, Luke. We're probably going to be ending fairly soon. It's almost 9:30. Hey, look! It's a cutie fly!
Hey, yay! My bikini can learn Brick Break. This is gonna make the trial so much easier.
Do you have V-Create on that thing yet?
No.
I think it learns V-Create at some, like, wildly low level. If I remember properly. Because I remember when Black and White came out, like, you just got a bikini. At, like, the start of the game. When, because there was, like, this mystery gift that came out, like, right as the game came out.
Oh, technically one of its base moves is Searing Shot, which I could have got, but no. It doesn't even learn V-Create in Gen 7.
What? But it's its signature move!
Pokemon Center to Hoku, Renewal Distribution. It's a distribution move.
What the fuck? It's its signature move!
Yeah, and it's also a distribution move, so if I wanted, I had to go into PK Hex again.
You know what, Poz? I'll let you.
I mean, I don't really need it right now. Maybe I'll do it later.
Yeah, I'd say, like... once you get your full team, if you want V-Create, I'll let you get V-Create. Is that fair?
Yes. Because it's basically just close combat but fire.
But it's V for victory.
But yeah, so that's probably why Victini had it like at a low level, because it's a distribution move and not a level up move.
V-Create should be a level up move, that's fucking bullshit. Oh yeah, so the Mantine surfing bullshit, I'm not looking forward to doing that shit. I'm gonna be so happy once I have like more than one Pokemon.
So you don't like it anymore?
Well, Lucy said at the moment was Lucas.
Okay.
And now I know what would happen if Lucas decides.
That is not anywhere near the case.
Well, name-wise.
I know a Lucas and he's a great person.
I know that. I think that we never named it.
She's been fired. You'll never know. And besides, you can always say your husband had the name picked out way before we even knew who the fuck you were. Because it's named, you would name her. Because I would also name the kid after my grandfather. That's kind of the point, both of them.
What's the middle?
Yeah, but Lucas just goes so well with it.
I am like you're just like choosing like a middle name based on what like sounds good.
Well, no.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Josh, John is also the name of two of my uncles, both of my grandfathers, and my cousin.
No, I didn't hear. I didn't hear where you chose where you were. I didn't hear anything about the middle name. I was just asking.
Well, obviously, I want it to phonetically sound well. Like Charlotte Rose sounds great. Riley Page sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But like,
You came up with two.
no, you did. I chose Riley.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
You took that together.
Laura and I did the thing where when Charlotte was being born, we said if it was a boy, I picked the name, which was Lucas John. And if it was a girl, she said she'd pick the first name and I'd pick the middle name.
Lucas John sounds like the most white name I've ever heard.
Lucas is because I've always loved the name Lucas, and John is, again, a family name.
You know what it sounds like?
What?
Lucas John sounds like he could be one of the Wyatt family members.
Are
Right?
they still thinking?
Ugh.
Huh?
Are they still thinking of names?
They have a locked-in name for a girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
it's
bounce
completely
back.
locked in.
Oh, boys. Basically, Josh, what we did was like we just always wanted to make sure that the name sounded good
Yeah.
and like rolled off the tongue pretty easily. But so I picked Charlotte's middle name, so I chose Rose, and Laura picked Charlotte. And then Riley came along, and I was like, all right, this time I'm gonna pick the first name. And Laura said, sounds good. So I went with Riley. And then Laura said Paige, and then after she locked it in, she's like, fuck, I gave her the same initials as you.
But it worked.
Because Riley and I both have RPM as our initials.
Yeah.
And she looks like you too, so that's not.
She looked like me. She's a little moody like me. She's just mini me, really. It's cute.
Well, I have
No,
a,
bikini! You got this, buddy! Yeah!
I have way more of a dilemma with if it's a boy.
Why?
Because, like, I could just pick my middle name as the middle name,
What do you mean is your middle name?
Joseph.
So, okay, hold on. Your name is, or was, Joshua Joseph, and then old
Yeah.
last name?
Yeah.
Was it a family name, or why did they go with that?
It's my dad's middle name.
Oh, really?
And it was my grandfather's.
Okay, there you go. You know where my middle name came from?
What?
The same place as my first name, the fucking Sky.
Oh, yeah. Alright, let's get off stream so I can actually talk about
My
this
name was
to you
Black
without doxing
Oh, yeah.
myself. It's not after
Hold on, I'm
9:30,
gonna-
so we're stopping.
I'm gonna come over here and just save by the trial so I can pick it up next time.
I just finished the trial.
Pause, pick your second. Are you at the Pokemon Center yet?
Not yet, let me leave this cave.
We'll
Okay.
end stream with Poz getting her second Pokemon.
Let me
Yeah.
get out of here!
Ollie, you fuck off!
Yeah, I'm gonna end my stream now and then Ryan can end after PozKitKat. Anyway, bye!